Cougars. Okay, today we're going to be continuing with our lesson from yesterday about algebraic equations and looking at solutions and really get into the heart of what is algebra. So yesterday we talked about an equal sign, and we're thinking about an equal sign being this balance. And when we have an equal sign, it means that our equation is balanced. So having this balance, we know that when something is balanced, it's not tipping to one side or tipping to the other. And so it's really, really important to keep that idea of a balance in mind as we are working through today's lesson. It's also important to think about this idea around solutions and how you know something is a solution or not a solution. So we're going to be looking at that as well and knowing if using that idea to check our work. So today we're going to be looking at this essential question of how do you solve algebraic equations using subtraction? So how do you solve algebraic equations when you're using subtraction? So, oh my goodness, there's so much to do today. And I hope that your seatbelt is fastened because it is going to be a wild and crazy ride. Okay, so algebraic equations have an equal sign. They have an equal sign. That's why they're called equations, because they have an equal sign. And that equal sign is our balancing point. So it's going to be really important that we know that, or we use this balancing point. Also today, it's going to be really important that you're paying attention to process, not the answer, until we get to the very end. I know some of these are going to be really easy for you to look at and solve right away in your head. I don't care about what happens in your head. I want process, because when you do the 7th grade work, which is coming soon, you will get lost if you don't understand the concept and the process. So trust me on this, okay? Process, process, process. All right, so the first thing that we're going to look at is this idea of subtraction or taking away something. So we have an equation, and it looks like this. It says, so example A says solve x plus 2 equals 9. Okay, I know that you can look at this and tell me right away what x should be, because you're just like, well, duh, something plus 2 equals 9. Well, that something has to be, fill in the blank. I don't care about that. What I care about right now is process. So this process is super duper important, and it's all about balance. So we are going to be solving for x. The process is called isolating the variable. It's really important to find what x equals by getting the variable all alone. So when we isolate the variable, we're getting it by itself. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is draw a balance line. So this tells me that whatever I do, this is equal right now. This side is equal to this side. So whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other. Otherwise, my balance is going to tip from one side to the other. And I don't want to tip over because, one, that might hurt if I fall out of my chair. But two, I don't want it to tip. It has to stay equal. Otherwise, this equal sign does not mean anything. And we need it to make sure that we keep this equal sign meaning equal. Okay, so I want to use a process of subtraction to isolate my variable. So to isolate my variable, I am going to start by removing whatever is on the side that has the variable. Well, right now I have a positive 2. So to get rid of a plus 2, I do the opposite to get rid of it. So if I have two things here, to get rid of them, I have to take them away, right? So in order to get this x all by itself, I have to take away those two things. Okay, so I've taken away two things. Okay, but look what just happened. As soon as I took away two things from one side, my balance is now super heavy. Because now these two things right here are gone, but they're not gone from this side. So I have to keep this balanced. So if I take away two things from here, I have to take away two things from here. This becomes 0 because it's gone. Those have disappeared. They're done. They're gone. And now I can drop down my x. My x is all by itself on my balance. On my balance, my x is there. It's by itself. And I have 9 minus 2, which equals 7. Now, this is balanced because it tells me that x is equal to, or x is the same as 7. I can now check and see if I have a real solution. So, I'm going to go through this now, and I am going to use substitution, which is exactly what we did last chapter. See how everything is building on itself? So I'm going to take this 7, and I'm going to plug it in right here. So I'm going to prove it. I need to prove it's a solution. And the way that I prove it is by using substitution. So now I'm going to say I had x plus 2 equals 9. I'm taking this 7. And this 7 is going in here. And now I'm proving this because 7 plus 2 is 9. And 9 is the same as 9. I have a balanced equation. This is balanced. So my solution is 7. So I would say 7 is the solution. Yes, I am well aware that you can look at this and say, oh my gosh, Miss Englander, all this work is not necessary. What are you doing? It is necessary. I promise you that it is. And it is because 6th grade builds towards 7th grade, which builds towards 8th grade, and eventually you are going to have many variables on one side, and you have to isolate all of them. And you just cannot do that in your head. So right now we're starting with 1, and we are going to work our way down until we get into the rhythm. So again, process over answer. Don't care about the answer right now until I get to the very end and we say that 7 is a solution. Okay? So the way that we did this, let's look at this up here. How did we solve this problem? So the first step was we had to undo addition. We had to undo addition with subtraction. So that's how we use subtraction. So we had to undo it by subtracting. That was our first step. The second step was we had to keep it balanced, right? What you do to one side, you do to the other. Otherwise, your scale is going to tip over. We don't want that to happen. And then step 3, we had to isolate the variable. That is not how you spell that. I was going to write ice the kicker, but it's isolate the variable. Sorry. I always get that commercial in my head. Isolate the variable. Isolate the variable. Okay, and then last, we have to prove that what we found is a solution. If you got something like 8 equals 9, then you know you did something wrong up here, and that's a great way for you to be able to check your work. All right, let's do another problem. All right, problem B. So now problem B says, what does it say? It says 26 equals 11 plus x. Okay, so step 1, draw that balance line. Always, always, always have a balance line. Always. Maybe we need to add that up here. Draw a balance line. Okay, I'm going to add that to my notes. Draw a balance line. Step 2, undo addition. Okay, well this is weird because our whole thing is we want to isolate the variable. But right now it's saying plus x. I don't know whether or not I'm supposed to add 11 or subtract 11. Okay, it's a positive 11 because it's a positive 11. It doesn't have a symbol in front of it that instantly means positive. We are going to subtract. Okay, so this is like a positive 11, so we're going to subtract 11. This 11 goes away, it becomes 0. But what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Subtract 11, subtract 11. I now drop down my variable. I've got it isolated. It's all by itself. My x is alone. That sounded really creepy. Okay, 5 and 15. So x equals 15. But did I do it right? That is the question. Now we're going to check it with proving it. We have to prove it. All right, so I'm going to take my original and I'm going to plug in the 15. So I have 26 is equal to 11 plus x. 15 was my answer. So all right, prove it. Prove it. Okay. 15 was my answer, so now I'm going to put 15 here. $11 plus 15 equals 26, and 26 is equal to 26. So 15 is the solution. 15 is the solution. Sometimes you're going to get a wrong solution. You will. And you'll have to go back and you'll have to figure out what you did wrong. Always prove it. Okay. I want you to do 2 try-its right now. 2 try-its? Yes, 2 try-its. This is really important that you do 2 try-its. Okay, so, and you need to prove it. All right, try-it number, this is try-it number 8. I know that's weird. Okay, try-it number 8. It says s plus 8, whoa, funky, equals 17. I want you to isolate the variable and check for a solution. And then your second problem I want you to do is try-it number 9. And try-it number 9, look at this. It says 9 equals y plus 6. Okay, you're going to want to pause the video right now. Go up above. Use your notes to help you. Make sure that you are drawing your balance line. Isolate the variable. All right, hit pause. No, I see you. Hit pause right now. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to draw my balance line. And then I need to isolate my variable. So I need to do the opposite. Right now it says addition. I'm going to do subtraction. So plus minus 8, that gives me 0. It's on one side, I have to do it to the other. Isolate my variable. I get S equals 9. Now I need to substitute and make sure I did this correctly. So I'm going to take my original and put in 9 plus 8 equals 17. Let me circle this so you can see it. And this is 17 is equal to 17. So 9 is the solution. Okay, how'd you do on that one? Identify what you need help on. Slow and steady. All right, this one. Draw my balance line. Again, isolate the variables, so undo whatever's over here. Right now it says positive 6, so I need to minus 6. I'm going to undo it. That gives me 0. Over here, I need to undo it. That gives me something different. I'm going to drop down my variable. 9 minus 6 is 3. So right now, I think that it is 3. Let's plug in the 3 and see if I got it right. 9 equals 3 plus 6. This 3 went right here for the y. So 3 plus 6 is 9, and 9 is equal to 9. So my solution is 3. 3 is the solution. All right, somewhere on your paper, wherever you have room, I want you to explain to me, how do you, even if it's on like a funky sticky note, if you have a sticky note, or over here on this side, tell me, answer your essential question. How do you solve algebraic equations using subtraction? So how do you solve them? Explain that to me here. And then I want you to rate yourself. Give yourself a rating. Where are you at with your learning right now? What do you still need help with? What's confusing? Again, process, process, process. Stop by the Google Meet and ask for help if you need it. Otherwise, please go ahead and go to the classwork tab and see what your practice work is for today. And as always, make it a great day the Cougar way.